You meet an incredible woman. The chemistry is undeniable. She's laughing at everything you say. Texting you first thing in the morning, her whole face lights up when she sees you walk into a room. You think to yourself, this is it. This is the one. Then, the shift happens. It's subtle at first. The texts get shorter. The laughs feel forced. That spark in her eyes? It starts to dim. And you're sitting there thinking, what did I do wrong? Here's the thing that'll blow your mind. You didn't do anything wrong. You just made the same mistake 99% of men make. You accidentally killed the very thing that made her obsessed with you in the first place. Most guys think attraction is about what you say or what you do. Wrong. Attraction is about energy, specifically masculine energy. And there's a particular frequency that drives women absolutely wild, one that most men destroy without even knowing it. See, society has programmed us to believe that being a good guy means matching her energy, agreeing with everything she says, and being her emotional support system. But that's not what creates obsession. That creates friendship. If you're lucky. What I'm about to share with you isn't some pickup artist nonsense. This is about stepping into your authentic masculine power, the energy that naturally draws women in and keeps them coming back for more, even when they can't explain why. The biggest relationship killer? Emotional mirroring. She gets excited, you get excited. She's stressed, you stress out with her. She's angry, suddenly you're angry too. You think you're connecting with her, but you're actually doing the opposite. You're becoming her emotional twin, and twins don't create sexual tension. Here's what changed everything for me. Your job isn't to match her energy. Your job is to anchor it. When she's spinning in chaos, you remain calm. When she's being dramatic, you stay composed. When she's frantic about something, you become the eye of her storm, steady, unshakable, grounded. Think about it like this. If you're both in the ocean getting tossed around by waves, you'll both drown. But if one of you is the lighthouse on solid ground, the other has something to swim toward. Women don't want another emotional reactor. They want a man who can hold space for their emotions without getting swept away by them. When you master this, she'll start leaning into your stability because it feels safe in a world that constantly shakes her. Here's where most guys completely kill the vibe. They get too serious, too fast. Every conversation becomes deep and meaningful. Every interaction turns heavy. You start sharing your childhood traumas on the second date. And while this might feel like real connection, to her it feels like emotional weight she didn't sign up to carry. The secret? Stay playful, not personal. When she brings up something heavy, you smile and gracefully change the subject. When she tries to pull you into drama, you laugh it off with genuine amusement. When she's being overly serious, you inject some lightness back into the moment. This isn't about being dismissive or uncaring. It's about maintaining your emotional sovereignty. You're showing her that you won't be pulled into every emotional whirlpool she creates, and that's incredibly attractive. She says something dramatic. You smirk and say, "You're adorable when you're worked up." She tries to start an argument. You chuckle and say, "I love how passionate you get about random things." Stay in the energy of play, and watch her open up to you more than she ever has with anyone else. Ever notice how the more you explain yourself, the less interested she becomes? That's because over-explaining is the enemy of attraction. When you start justifying every decision, explaining your intentions or trying to prove your worth through words, something happens in her subconscious. She starts sensing neediness. And neediness is attraction poison. Here's the counterintuitive truth. The less you reveal, the more she feels. Mystery doesn't mean being fake or playing games. It means letting her imagination fill in the blanks. Let her wonder what you're thinking. Let her guess what you'll do next. Let her mind create stories about who you are when you're not around. Instead of telling her you had an amazing day, say, "Today was interesting," and leave it at that. Instead of explaining why you can't hang out, just say, "I can't tonight, but let's do Thursday instead." She asks where you went last night. Just handled some things. She wants to know what you're thinking. Nothing you need to worry about, with a knowing smile. The goal isn't to be secretive for the sake of it. It's to maintain an air of intrigue that keeps her mind actively engaged with thoughts of you. This one's huge. When she talks to you, she's not looking for solutions. She's looking for connection. Most men hear a problem and immediately go into fix-it mode. She tells you about her stressful day, and you start offering strategies and solutions. She vents about her friend drama, and you give her a logical breakdown of what she should do. But here's what you're missing. She's not trying to solve her problems when she talks to you. She's trying to feel heard, understood, and emotionally validated. Instead of responding with logic, respond with energy. A knowing look that says, I see you. A pause that creates space for her emotions, a simple, damn, that sounds intense. A smirk that shows you're not rattled by her chaos when you respond with energy instead of advice. You're feeding what she's actually hungry for. Emotional stimulation and the feeling that someone can hold space for her without trying to change her or fix her. The man who doesn't try to solve her problems, but simply witnesses them with strength and presence. That's the man who wins her heart. Now let's talk about the invisible moves that separate the men she obsesses over from the ones she forgets. Slow down your speech. Most guys talk fast when they're nervous or trying to impress, but when you speak 20% slower than feels natural, your entire energy shifts. You seem more grounded, more confident, like a man who doesn't need to rush or chase anything. That slower pace says, I'm in control of this moment. Master the art of neutrality. There will come a moment, probably sooner than you think, where she'll test you. She might create drama, throw out accusations, or try to pull you into an emotional battlefield. If you react with matching energy, you lose. But if you stay neutral, calm, maybe even slightly amused, she sees a man who can't be emotionally controlled, and that's rare. Never let her pull you into her emotional world. She will try, consciously or unconsciously, to drag you into her emotional storms. It's not malicious. It's her way of testing if you can hold space without falling apart. Treat it like weather passing by. Let her feel everything while you remain the calm in her chaos. Maintain strategic unpredictability. Here's a paradox. If she knows everything about you, your schedule, your habits, your reactions, attraction dies. Familiarity breeds comfort, but obsession is fed by unpredictability. Change your rhythm occasionally. Be less available sometimes. Surprise her with unexpected responses or actions. This might be the most important insight I can give you. Her words aren't as important as her energy. Men make the mistake of taking everything she says at face value. She says she doesn't want a relationship, you believe her. She says she's tired, you back off completely. She says she's not in the mood, you shut down. But here's what you need to understand. Words lie, but energy doesn't. Pay attention to her vibe, her tone, her body language, those micro expressions she doesn't even know she's making. Sometimes she'll say no with her mouth while her body language screams yes. Sometimes she'll claim she doesn't care while her energy shows she's deeply invested. Learn to read the subtext. When she says, I don't need anyone, what she might really be communicating is, show me I can trust you to be different. When she says, I'm fine, her energy might be saying, please see through this and connect with what I'm really feeling. Stop getting caught up in surface-level words and start reading the deeper currents of emotion and energy. That's where the real communication happens. Look, I know this isn't easy, especially if you've been conditioned to be the nice guy, the people pleaser, the one who bends over backward to accommodate everyone else's emotions. But here's the truth. The more you step into this authentic masculine energy, the more she'll see the real you, not the guy trying to impress her or win her approval, but the man who's quietly confident, emotionally unshakable, and completely comfortable in his own skin. This is about becoming the type of man who walks into a room and changes the entire energy without saying a word. The type of man who other men respect and women can't stop thinking about. So here's your mission for the next 7 days. Practice staying above the storm. No matter what emotional weather anyone brings into your life, not just women, but everyone, you remain the lighthouse. Steady, grounded, unshakable. If you're ready to step into this energy, I want you to comment below, I am the lighthouse. Because that's what you're becoming, not the ship getting tossed around by every wave, but the steady beacon that others navigate toward. The choice is yours. You can keep being reactive, keep getting pulled into every emotional whirlpool, keep wondering why the spark always dies. Or you can become the man who creates his own weather, who sets the emotional tone wherever he goes, who becomes absolutely magnetic without even trying. What's it going to be?